stream chat up as well. Nearly forgot to open the chat. There we go.
Oh.
All right, guys. Welcome. Hopefully you can hear us okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna need to see if whether you can hear you because you're quite away from the mic.
Yeah.
As usual.
If we move it.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'll come this way a bit.
Yeah.
There we go. So hopefully we'll be able to pick us both up. I'll lean over.
Yeah. Well,
That? There we go.
Okay. And now we're all kind of out of the camera.
Okay. So
there we go. Okay.
should we start again?
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Welcome to Chinwag number 115.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for popping in. This is our weekly eBay update, how our week on eBay's been type chat with myself, Zaheer, and Beck. So we come on here every Friday and we just talk about how things have been in our week, really.
It's just like an overall catch up of what we've been doing
and
this week.
Yeah, and we try to relate it to to basically business and our sales and eBay and whatnot. We try to. Sometimes it goes a bit off topic, but we try.
It does go off topic sometimes. We do try to stay on track.
Yeah, we try to keep some kind of topic going.
Let's get that off.
So we'll say a few highs. We've got Owly Boy, Peter Ray, Jay Dennis, Ian Jeffrey, Starley, Vintage Vandal, Claire Riley, Jason Entwistle, Pete's Retro Collectibles, Peter Ray's Adventures. I think I've said that. I'm not sure. Shazad says hi. Hello, don't move. You're perfect, says Dave. We can hear you both okay, says Jay. Thank you.
That's good.
Steve Hicksey says sup. Hi, Steve. Lex says, wow, you both have amazingly shiny hair. Bex is because she's used some kind of shampoo.
Yeah, I'm using a new shampoo.
Mine is because I'm due a shower. So shiny, but for different reasons.
Yeah, because you don't use my shampoo, do you?
No, I don't use your shampoo, no.
So I'm using a new shampoo.
So it's probably just greasy.
I might do a video about it on my channel. Because it's not expensive either. So yeah.
Right. Karen says hi. Karen sells clothes, lobster pot. Sammy Fizzy and Ryan says hi, Bex, and hair. Whatever, man. Thanks for popping in, guys. So
should we?
We'll get on with it.
Get straight into it.
Yeah, we'll get straight into it.
Right.
It's just about
sales
have been really good for us this week.
Yeah.
We'll talk about sales first. Why not? Coming out of the previous sales period on eBay, we are nearly 22% up.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, it's about the chat being over my face.
Oh, okay.
Is it because of where I'm sitting?
Probably where you're sitting. Hold on.
Should I
No,
move?
you don't have to make it. You don't have to move. I can just make it a bit smaller, and I don't know if it'll be readable, but
it's because I'm shorter than you. See, it's because we've switched around the other way and we haven't played around with the chat.
There we go.
So there you go. Hopefully that's okay. Anyway,
I don't know if you'll be able to read it as well now, but who cares? It's just there.
Well, at least it's not over my face.
Yeah, exactly. It's not over your face. There we go. Yes, but thanks for pointing that out, Jay Dennis. Appreciate it. And fake Rachel I saw in the chat as well. You're gonna do a video in the shower? Asked Dave. Not really. I think.
No.
I think I'll leave it. But yes, our sales are up nearly 22% over the previous 30 days. So there's two sides to that story. Our sales were weak during Christmas period.
They were.
They weren't as good as we thought. We go through that. We're not necessarily selling seasonal items. We don't prepare for Christmas. We don't, we just never have. It's not what our inventory is.
Yeah.
So since that's all done, Christmas and New Year's done, things have definitely picked up, and we're feeling a lot better about it. And okay, Karen says, oh, so it's you two that have nicked all the sales. Starly says you're the correct way around. Don't move. Glad your sales are up. Mine are 35% down from this time last year, says Richard Howe.
Sorry to hear that.
Wow. I mean, that is a tough situation, but you've got to look at it over the year as well. And things change, things change in terms of what's popular, what's not popular. You might find that different parts of the year might become more popular for you. And Nathan says, hello, just started watching your videos. I enjoy seeing the couples as my wife and I work together as well. Oh, that's fantastic, Nathan.
No.
Thanks for popping in. Been a long time. This time people are most skin low too. It's been a long time since payday, says Lex.
Yeah.
You've got something to say on that.
Yeah, because some people get paid early at work. I mean, we actually had the option at our workplace whether we got paid early, and I was like, no, keep it where it is, because otherwise it's just going to be a long month in January to get to the end of the month, because I always get paid on the last day of the month.
Yeah.
So, and I was just like, it's pointless having it early. And although it is only a week's difference, but you've got to remember, January is like a 5-week month, isn't it?
Yeah.
So to go almost 6 weeks without your pay,
yeah,
that's hard, isn't it? So people are, people that didn't even necessarily have the choice, because in my old job I didn't have the choice whether we got paid early. We just got paid early.
Yeah.
They didn't even give us the option. So yeah, it was nice to be asked, and I obviously said no.
And Karen says, when is the stockroom video? It will be out soon.
Yeah.
We'll do a video about it soon.
Oh, you're meant to be doing that anyway.
Yeah, I'll be doing that. Jay Dennis says, we have done £5,000 in the last 7 days, and that's saying we're 32% down. Wow. And Ryan says, I'd sack you due to your absence. I don't know what you're talking about. Who's that? Oh, okay. Did a binge on Bex's videos today, says Sammy Fizzy. And Jay Dennis says, last year we did 27k in January selling second-hand stuff. That is amazing. Wow. And Steve says 35% up from last year. All good here. Yeah, I mean, I think in a way, when people share whether their sales are up or down,
yeah,
it's always interesting, because you're always going to get the biggest variety of response.
Yeah,
it's never going to be the case.
And the thing is, people sell different things. That's what you've got to keep in mind. It's our Januaries do tend to pick up.
Leaning away from the mic.
Sorry.
Yeah,
our Januaries do tend to pick up. It did for us last year. Yeah, last year.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
And we had similar stock at the time, because we've obviously had our RC stuff for over a year now.
So over a year.
So
yeah. It was a year. So
we're
kind
August,
of getting
to the point where a lot of the stock we had then we're still kind of continuing to sell through now. So generally our Januaries can pick up for us anyway with the stock that we have. So,
and I think also, I mean, some of you guys will have seen the video I put out yesterday about the Webinterpret program. And it's not for everybody, because if you go online and you look up reviews, it's had some pretty bad reviews from people. Actually, someone actually posted in the chat about, I think it was Cal Lunatic, who comments now and then, mentioned how he actually had some bad experience with Webinterpret, with messing up inventory. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on inventory levels, making sure there's no mess ups there. But
I mean, we're going to keep a close eye, aren't we?
We haven't
seen
got a really
that many listings that have gone over to it yet.
Well, no, they've just started to this evening. Yeah. For most of this week, at the time I'd made the video, we'd only had 40 listings on the Webinterpret platform, which is basically they list on all the other eBay sites for you. And this evening they started to ramp it up to more listings. I noticed more and more listings were coming online.
Yeah.
And it's already made a difference. We've already sold a couple of things that, I'm really happy to have sold via that system. So people are buying my items on their own native eBay site. So, people are buying my items from eBay.France, eBay.Germany, Spain and Italy. So I'm really happy that even just by enabling those 4 countries, and a relatively small percentage of our inventory, we've started seeing some really good results. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. I'm actually looking forward to adding the US website, the .com website to it, and seeing what happens. So I'm just, I'm actually really excited. I mean, we've sold a couple of items through it very quickly. I mean, even just today, with more listings going live, we've already had a couple of sales from them, and it's just nice. Which is nice to see. Karen says up on last year by 12%, but they're still crud. I don't sell Q4 items and was expecting it to be busier, but c'est la vie. I'm eating pizza, so always good. Yeah, we just finished eating a kebab, so Yeah, it's like, yeah, we're pretty but yeah, still that's good stuff. Right. Just quickly go down the chat. Sammy says, if people have bad experiences, they're more likely to leave reviews. Not many people leave good reviews with experiences. That's a good point, Sammy.
That is a good point.
Yeah,
actually.
That's a good point. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
you know, I think it brings us onto like an interesting topic. I feel that we looked at Webinterpret a couple of years ago.
I don't know how
I think it
long
was a
ago
year,
it
or at
was,
least
but
a year ago. At least a year.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since we last looked at it, because the service has been around for a while.
It's probably over a year ago, because we didn't have the stock that we had now.
Yeah.
So when we did it initially, I don't think we had the same stock.
I think the idea is, I think the idea that came to my mind was that it's always worth revisiting things, even things that you think you know. It's worth revisiting.
Yeah.
Because even though previously, when we first heard of Webinterpret and we first looked at the service and enabled it and didn't see anything happen, this was a couple of years ago, like I said, we had a completely different inventory at the time. And
it didn't work for us.
Yeah, so we didn't, I didn't have anything negative to say. They didn't like destroy my shop by me enabling them, but it did nothing for us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I remember actually making a video about it. I can't remember like what I said in the video, but I'm pretty sure I made a video about it then as well, because I like the idea of it. But I'm not sure whether it helped or not. But I don't think it did, because I ended up going off it.
Because we came off of it.
Yeah.
I don't think we had a bad experience with it, but I just don't think it was working for us with the stock that we had then.
And I think that by going back and revisiting it after this time, even though we had a perception of what the service was, it's really made us just rethink that actually nothing is set in stone. Nothing that you do in your business, no matter what practices you've got, no matter what systems you've got in place, even if they've been working for you for the past while, it's always worth now and then just revisiting those and seeing whether there's something better out there. So for example, you could apply that to anything. You could apply that to how you source. So you might have once gone to charity shops and not found anything and decided, actually charity shops are rubbish, I'm just not going to bother. I'm going to switch my attention to car boots and auctions, and not gone to charity shops. Now, whilst not going to charity shops may have been a really good decision at the time, who's to say that by not revisiting it, who's to say that the local charity shops haven't been suddenly filled with an influx of high quality goods, because maybe the demographic of your area has changed since you last went into one. Maybe they've started bringing in donations from a more affluent area or something.
Karen says, sure you thought they weren't promoting anything, just call me your YouTube stalker on a Friday night. Been here since the first one.
Sure you thought what?
No. They weren't promoting anything.
I don't know. Sure you thought they weren't promoting what? I don't understand that at all.
Do you not get it? You said you just said you weren't sure what you said in the other video.
Okay.
Yeah, and Karen said sure you thought they weren't promoting anything.
Oh, okay.
Like
they had no impact.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought they were just okay.
And then Karen made a joke about just call me a YouTube stalker.
Okay, all right, Karen. I just didn't understand. Okay.
I had to explain that to you, seriously.
Yeah.
How awake are you?
I'm awake.
Really?
But were you awake to what I was talking about? What was I just talking about?
Something.
See, there you go. You weren't even listening to what I was saying. I've been just talking for ages, and you didn't even.
I did. I listened.
What did I say?
Like stuff about
go on.
stuff.
Go on. What was I talking about?
I can't remember. It's been a long day.
The 5.
Don't push me, honestly. You just won't want to see my reaction tonight.
But I'm just glad that's out there. So all that stuff I was saying, Beck isn't aware of. But I was saying about revisiting what you're doing, just because. Yes,
I did hear. Sorry.
Exactly, you did hear.
I'm
okay.
sorry, honey.
No, not at all. So what I'm saying is like it's always worth revisiting. So you may have made a good decision.
But you said it in a really long way. So as soon as you said about revisiting, I kind of just switched off.
Okay.
So I did hear it. It was just a really long sentence. So I was like, surely I've missed something.
No, I just think that even if you've made a really good decision, it's worth revisiting. It may have been a great decision at the time, but like I said, you might have stopped going to charity shops, for example, or you may have figured out that you hate using Hermes, for example, because they lost a couple of your parcels, and now you're paying through the nose with another service. You might be paying a more expensive service. You might have switched to UPS and are paying extra because you had such a bad experience with Hermes. But who's to say that within that year or two period's time, Hermes service hasn't exponentially improved, and now you're paying out all this extra money for no good reason? So that could have happened, couldn't it?
What with Hermes?
Well, possibly. I mean, we've got a parcel here.
No.
That's from Hermes. That was sent by Hermes.
It's a great example, though. This is not a great example.
It's a great example.
It is not.
I think it's a great example. We'll let the chat decide. We'll let the chat decide.
We'll let the chat decide. I don't think this
months
is a very
ago.
good example.
Months ago. I don't even know how long.
Okay, so long ago that we don't know when we sold this. We'll probably be able to find out. Over 3 months.
No, it's over 3 months.
It's definitely over 3 months ago.
Over 3 months ago, we sold an item. We don't even remember when. And it went internationally, and I used Hermes international shipping.
And we had 2 returns today, right?
Both of them for the same reason. Basically being left. No, both for the same reason. Just being left, not being collected at the post office, isn't it?
One came back through Royal Mail.
And one came back from Hermes. Yeah. But the Hermes one was an international sale. I shipped something all the way over to France, I think, via Hermes. And over 3 months later, it's come back. Do you want to bring it up?
Yeah.
Just move your chair back.
I'll move my chair back.
It's not actually heavy. Yeah.
Okay, it's really not heavy. It's just bulky.
Yeah.
There we go. So there's no address, is there?
No, not anymore. There you go.
Okay.
So it's come back a bit battered. I did rip it open though. That's not how it came. I ripped that open just to see what it was.
Yeah.
And it's actually a CD stereo that we sold well over 3 months ago. Now, the customer didn't pick it up. Admittedly, the box has taken a bit of a battering, but Hermes have brought it back to us.
But it's taken... No, this is why I think it's a bad example, right? And people might disagree. Because this sale was clearly over 3 months ago. Yeah,
but I don't know, like, you don't know how long it was sat at the thing.
The one that came back from Royal Mail,
recent, yeah.
Okay, that was, we sent it on the 20th of December. So we've actually received that back relatively quickly.
In under a month.
We can
It's been
find
sat
out
at the post
quite
office,
easily who it is, because neither of these have actually come to us. Not that we're... No, they haven't. We'd know if that well, definitely not that one. That one hasn't come. Like, because we had a Sony manual returned to us as well, right? So, is it a Sony manual?
Yeah.
That one, we'll be able to find out who it is because the label, says it.
Well, it's within 30. It's within 90 days, so we easy to track.
And it's within the 90 days. That one is like over it.
That's like, them done though.
No, but it's still not the point.
Yeah. We got one back from Hermes last week from the beginning of November. That was Francis J. Dennis. But the point is, it's back, and the customer has not asked for any money or anything. They clearly are not bothered about it because by now they would have either opened an eBay case or they would have opened a case on PayPal. But it's still, it's still back to us, is my point. So, my point is... Anyway, it's worth revisiting your decisions, that's all. Yeah. And, the long and short of it is that's what we did with Webinterpret, and it seems to so far be a good thing. But also it's something we're going to do just generally to the rest of the business as well. Because just because you've come up with a good way of doing something previously doesn't mean that in time you've not learned like a better way of doing it. So it could be a process, it could be how you list, could be how you take photos. You might have decided a long time ago that you don't want to, Wow, Millionaire Militaria has donated £5 through Super Chat and says, I'm a big fan of Mr. Skits. There are cheaper ways of letting Mr. Skits know that, but that is very kind.
We do appreciate the Super Chat though.
But that is very kind of you. I'm 2 slices of pizza and stuffed. I'm ashamed of myself. You should be ashamed of yourself.
No, you shouldn't be.
You should be ashamed of yourself for only being able to eat 2 slices of pizza, is what I was going to say. Because you should be able to eat at least 4 slices of pizza. At least 4. But, still. It is Mr. Skits.
Is it Mr. Skits?
I don't know if it is, but we'll see. But still, if it is, then it is. I don't know, but thank you for the super chat. But yeah, so I just wanted to bring that little side thing up because Ryan says, can we revisit Beck's working habits and get her back on the RC job, please and thank you. That's another good example. That's another good example. It is about revisiting, and as soon as we can, that is the plan.
And it's definitely something that we will get
I tell you what, we're constantly revisiting that decision.
We talk about it constantly. We may not mention it all the time on the channel.
And today was a good reason why, wasn't it? Like today was
it was a rough day.
Yeah, it was a rough day. We're going to leave it at that. We're not going to go into it. But we are definitely it was a rough day, and we are definitely looking at that every which way. Another example of revisiting stuff. We've for a long time had our office PC out in the conservatory, as you guys know, and again, it was the fact that we revisited that. And I know it sounds really kind of plonkerish saying that we revisited it, but we did. You look again, you revisit the situation, and you make the right decision for the current time. And I feel that it was a much better decision to do this, to move the PC out here and stock in there.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
Again, we're always looking at how we're conducting our business really. Z is overworked and overplayed, says Dave. Very funny. I've been doing some work, guys. A little bit. Okay. I used to be an adamant app lister, but now I can only list on a laptop, says Fake Rachel. Yeah, I mean, but again, that's something that you should always be keeping track of, because if eBay puts money into the app, right, and they start making it like infinitely better than it is now, because right now I think it's crap. If it was infinitely better than it is, then you'd be smarter to stop wasting your time listing on the desktop, and you'd be smart to switch if you found it quicker. But my issue is, until they fix a couple of things, such as they don't allow business policies, which I think is the worst thing. So if you've got business policies on your or set up on your eBay account, so business policies for your postage, your shipping, etc., when you list an item on your phone, it creates like a duplicate policy, which is just messy. It's not efficient. The whole point of having a business policy is that you've got set presets that you can just use. I mean, that's another thing to definitely look at and just keep yourself on the most efficient path of doing things. Karen says, I've revisited my stock every day this week and told it how much I want it gone. Very funny, Karen. But again, you joke there, but it's definitely something to think about. We all do that. I think that's one of the few things that people revisit without even thinking. It's their stock, isn't it? Don't you think? People are always looking at their stock. What are you staring at? What's so funny?
I'm just reading Lexi's comment. I can't list on my Mac because the C button doesn't work from overuse. True story.
Oh man, the C button, eh? Wow. Oh gosh. Time for a USB keyboard plug-in or something maybe. But yeah, I mean, I think stock is one of the things that people revisit without having to think about it, I think, because it is in your face, isn't it? It is such an important part. It is your business, but it's like the other little things, I think, on the side, like the bells and whistles, the little enhancements that people don't often revisit. So for example, that will be your shipping, how you do your shipping, how you do your photography, how you store your inventory, how you organize it. All that kind of stuff is other things that people sometimes leave for a bit longer, like how they source, where they source. You can get into habits for those things, whereas checking stock is a habit anyway, isn't it? Because you want to be regularly going into it and tweaking prices, tweaking keywords or whatever. So So yeah, that was good. So we've talked about our sales. 2 returns on the same day. Both were just for a non-collection. Like I said, sales have been up over 20%, nearly 22% over the previous period of 31 days. So we're really, really happy with how that's going for us. Partly it's just sales coming through on the site, and obviously we've got this little boost with the thing. We also wanted to talk about how you're doing. You've had a couple of sales this week.
I've had a couple of sales on the second store this week. Only 2.
But
I'm still happy with them. No, because it's nice, because it means that it feels like it's slowly getting somewhere. It's never going to be something that's like really quick with the second store, because of the amount of activity. So at the weekend, you probably saw that we did a working hangout, didn't we, on Sunday? Where I was taking loads of photos, and you were doing some listing.
What, again? Are you serious? Okay. Is that another £5 super chat? Thank you very much. If it is, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I can't see a message though.
I don't see a message that time. Thank you. A military. Is that Mr. Skits again? We don't know. It may well be, but I'm confused now.
Yeah, because we can't see a message.
Yeah, we can't see a message, but thank you for the super chat.
So what was I saying? I was saying about so we did a working hangout on Sunday, and Zaheer was doing some listing, sorting and listing, wasn't it? I was doing photographs, which helped massively this week. So it did allow me to have work ready for when I needed to sit down and try and get on top of my drafts. I think I did because I normally have a half day on a Tuesday with work. I did come home in the afternoon, and I managed to get about 10 drafts kind of sorted in a couple of hours, so that I was, ready for the next couple of days, because in the next couple of days I didn't really do any listing. I haven't done any listing today. So although I've had more activity this week, it isn't exactly where I want it to be. I still got a little way to go with it. I think I'm currently on about 78 listings, I think, on the second store. I should have checked before I come down. No. Yeah, I can do it. I can check on my phone.
Yeah, you can just check on your phone, yeah.
I'm sure it's about 78.
But I think getting that work done at the weekend
it's been really, really nice.
Because during the week, with all the best intentions, you've got to be realistic, because everyone has the best intentions, don't they?
Oh, it's 77, because I've sold 2 items.
2 items now, yeah. But you know what? This is an important comment as well, because everyone has good intentions when they want to work on their business. Yeah. And anyone can watch a Gary Vee video where he's like, hey, work 13 hours a day, come home, lift weights, make a puzzle and then work. No, anyone can do that. Anyone can do that, and everyone gets pumped by that, don't they?
Yeah.
But it's not easy to do.
It's not easy to do.
I'm not saying it can't be done. It can be done. People do it.
I do think that it can be done, and that's why I do try to do as much as I can with my evenings and my afternoons when I am away from work. So, even at the weekends, as much as I like to relax at the weekends, I do like taking a little bit of time to. But
my point is, you're not. But my point is, in all honesty, it's not right, in my opinion, anyway. I mean, and you struggle, even though you try to do this. Mm-hmm. Coming home on a weeknight after you've had a really rough day, walk the dog, do the house stuff, get the clothes ready for the kids the next day, get your lunches ready. Then the last thing you want to do is sit down and list. Sometimes you may get away with doing it, but most times it's hard.
What I will say is I have set myself smaller goals, and if I don't reach those goals, I'm not kicking myself over it, because I'm like, you know what, I'm doing so much during my day now. There's
But what I'm saying to you is by doing something on the Sunday. But that's my point. It's it's easy to watch people like Gary Vee who say, "I just do it." We all want to. It's not that people have got no ambition and they don't want to do more. Everyone wants to do more, but doing it is a different kettle of fish. And in a way, I think by doing the Sunday is a really good way of helping you do more during the week.
Yeah, but then there's other stuff that we talk about all the time, because we do. We've mentioned it on this channel before, but our love of Jim Rohn.
Yeah.
And there And
I'm gonna go and get myself a Coke.
Tony Robbins as
Tony
well.
Robbins as well, yeah.
Is it Tony Robbins that originally said it?
Who said what?
About the disciplines. That was Jim Rohn, wasn't it? So there's two types of there's I'm gonna get it all wrong now. So there's like two things that you can suffer from. So you either suffer with the pain of regret or the discipline. And you have to be so disciplined if you want to kind of, you know, get to the point like I'm trying to.
Yeah. Are you talking about the two types of...
the two types of pain. So the discipline
we
the
must all
pain
suffer
of regret.
There's
always
two types
two.
of pain. Yeah,
Yeah,
the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. Yeah, and the thing is, it's all very well having, you know, fatheads just knocked the mic out of the stand.
Oh, you looked it out. Oh no, okay. Come on in. Oh, come on in.
Oh god, okay. Gary V. Peter says Gary V is aiming for people who watch 3 hours of YouTube, then 3 hours of video games, but are unhappy when they could use their time. No, he is. But what I'm saying is he does say to people they shouldn't complain if that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Pete.
I mean,
yeah. Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying, Peter, because he one thing that irks him is when people want to be successful, but then they're wasting their time playing video games, right? The point is, I don't disagree with that, but what I'm saying is, the work is just not easy. Because if it was easy, everyone would be doing it, right?
and that's the thing, and
even if you're not playing video games,
like forming habits though, because if you change your habits and you change what you want to do, and if you are really determined to set goals and be in a certain place, it does take a lot of discipline to get to that, is my point.
Yeah, exactly. So
even though I struggle some days, on others I'm like really, really happy with what I managed to complete, and you know, and just get on with it. Yeah,
exactly. So good point. And I think we've found a way of actually doing that as well by doing the Sundays, by getting photos done, which is the more time
taking
adapting
that little
things.
bit of time that maybe I would be sitting on my phone or watching NCIS on TV and not watching NCIS and actually going up and doing a couple of hours work on a Sunday instead of, you know, watching TV or whatever it is I decide to do. If I decide to use my time that way, then, you know, I think overall if it makes my week a little bit easier when it comes to trying to get the listing done, you know, I'm still playing around with it and seeing where I can fit it into my week. And that's a really long way of saying it, really. There
Exactly. Okay, let's go through a few of the comments because we've missed a few.
We have.
Okay, another work hangout this week. Zian Bex, Millionaire Military donated £5 through Super Chat. If you have, again, that's thank you. That's
much.
Very generous. I don't know what to say. Another work hangout this week, Zian Bex. Are we going to do another one on Sunday?
I think we were planning on doing one.
So we both get work done.
Yeah. Actually, I think we were going to do a bit of a challenge.
I'm not sure about doing a challenge.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about doing a challenge.
Yeah, we were going to do a
let's just do some work. Keep it friendly.
Oh, you don't want to play?
No.
You don't want to play?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, if Zaheer feels like it, we were gonna do a bit of a challenge.
But we don't have to do a challenge. We can still work, can't we? Can't we just work? You know. Jeez, man. We probably will do like a little hangout where we'll do some listing.
It'll probably be on Sunday again. Roughly around the same time.
Maybe,
I think we came on at about 2-3 o'clock.
Yeah, because I think it helped us. It really did. Mm-hmm. We got a bunch of drafting and listing sorted, and I think that's been quite good. Right, let's scroll down. Another vlog, Bex, this week. I'm addicted, says Karen.
Yeah, it'll be out tomorrow night.
Phone battery dying, so got to go. Peeps, bye, says Treasure Pirate.
Bye,
thank you. Question for Bex. Sunday live with Z and Bex. Can you make it a regular, please? We're not sure about making it regular.
We're not sure how regular we're going to do it, but we'll definitely be back this Sunday.
Zaheer, lol, my mum just walked in and started listening to you two, and she said, it's nice that reselling brings together a father and daughter. Oh, come on, Sir Thrift a lot. Seriously?
What can I just say? Have you seen it?
Yes, I can feel him.
He's sat on your chair behind you. Yeah. He's actually jumped up behind Zaheer. Yeah. There we go.
Really? A lot. But, man.
I don't know what to say to that, really.
I will be looking younger in time. I'm just going to lose the weight.
You've got to lose the weight first.
That's the other thing we're doing, which is really good.
Yeah.
God, you
want to come across, don't you?
Yeah, just pick him up. Just pick him up. Let him sit on your... Why don't you just let him sit on your lap in the first place?
I told him to come across and you just can't make it. There you go.
There you go. Okay, now just hug him tight so he doesn't go.
There you go. You're going to sit down.
Don't beat yourself up for overworking, says Dave. This time of year is limited daylight. You need rest. When summer comes, you'll do more.
Yeah, definitely.
That's something.
And this is what I said to you. It's going to be so much harder to do it at this time of year.
She said some people pay for painful discipline for purpose. And Fake Rachel says Ryan knows all about that.
Oh, dear.
Oh, gosh. Once you watch a certain amount of Gary Vee, you catch the video that he says you shouldn't watch me once. You get it and just do it. His whole ethos is just get on and do it, says Pete's Retro Collectibles. Yep. Question for Z, how many times a week do you tell yourself off for not working as hard as you could or should? I tell myself off at least 3 times a week. It all depends on how much I need to get done, Ryan. Luckily, recently, we've been doing a lot more. So I don't feel like that as much. I think we've been so much more productive over the past few weeks.
We have.
That I actually feel like we're finally getting somewhere. I still get frustrated because there are still distractions around the house, and sometimes stuff gets in the way. But yes, definitely, it's quite a regular thing. You always want to do more. You always want to do more than you've done. Z knows he will lose, says Karen. I'm guessing that's to do with the challenge.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Question for Bex, will you sack him if you don't do the challenge?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
George Russ says, hey Z and Beck chat, can't wait, but we'll catch up later tonight whilst rapping. No worries.
Thanks for popping in.
Okay, used to, Dave, but for a few months I found myself not watching so much YouTube and only watching at set times and getting more done.
I think like, no, don't do that. When I'm like listing and things like that, when I'm sorting clothes and stuff, I'm normally trying to catch up on YouTube. So I normally use YouTube time. Sorry if you can't hear me. I normally use like my time when I'm listing and drafting to put on some YouTube and like catch up on some videos. I have managed to try and
bloody camera.
I managed to catch some lives this week as well. Yeah. I think I catched I caught Heather Treasure Pirate this week live, which is unusual because when it's like live during the day, like a lot of the times I don't catch it because I'm at work. But because I was at home Tuesday afternoon, I managed to catch some lives on that day, and that was quite cool.
Yes, exactly.
That doesn't always happen.
Exactly. Jay Dennis says, we stopped for 2 days, stripped the office stockroom out and did it how we have found it needs to be, rather than allow it to grow by dumping stuff in empty spaces. Find more, sell more, says Jay Dennis. That's a really good idea as well, because I think that happens quite a lot with people, isn't it? There's pile up stock as they buy it. But keeping it organized is key. I'm actually going to be ordering some more of those boxes, those big heavy totes, because you can get those for quite good value on eBay. Because if you buy like really useful boxes and stuff, they're still nowhere as strong as the totes that we use. Those totes I'm going to be buying a bunch more of, and we're really pleased with those. So I'm going to get more of those and just keep more organized, basically. Right. Jason says, thumbs up, folks. Oh, thank you. Sack him anyway, says Millionaire Military, then hire him with a pay rise. I watch YouTube whilst drafting, says Karen Sells Clothes.
Yeah, see, I do similar.
Yeah.
Hey.
Landshark Picker says, we have really liked the working hangout format. No one feels like they have to keep a topic going, just like sitting in the office talking over the cubicle wall, says Landshark.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like quite a nice way to hang out, really, I think, because when you go to work, you've got people around you in your office and you go and have a chat, and it may not be like, constant chat, but you get to do. It's
a fly on the wall, really, isn't it? It's like being a fly on the wall, having a camera.
Yeah, I think it's nice. I think I quite like it. I like the look of it anyway.
Yeah. Andy Robinson says cubicle wall. Well, like in an office when everyone's in the little cubicles.
Yeah.
Look at any used Halfords plastic boxes. They are in orange. Those kinds of things, Jay Dennis. Those things are amazing. I love those kinds of boxes. And I'm going to be buying a bunch more of those to store the stuff we've bought, because what we found as well is like when you bring in stock and it comes in all different kinds of containers, it just takes up that much more room, because everything is oddly shaped and whatnot. All the boxes won't stack properly, or the different sizes. I think you can easily condense and get a lot more space just by having uniform storage units, like storage boxes. Help with the need to binge watch YouTube videos. Okay. I limit myself on YouTube, says Peter Ray. I only watch vids in evenings, maybe one at lunch. Catch the odd live during the day, but if I'm in, but lots to do and money to be made. Yeah, you've got to limit YouTube, like any other social media. You can
really lose yourself in it.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you watch quite a lot of people. Like, if you follow quite a lot of people, there's always going to be something out there to watch. So
exactly. The Halfords ones are what they deliver the stock into the stores in, often come up secondhand in bulk, says Jay Dennis. Yeah, I mean, there's quite a lot of sellers of those totes, actually. There's quite a lot of sellers. Same as the Sony logistics boxes. Alf is being such a pain.
He's being really demanding, actually.
What's the matter?
He just wants cuddles.
Yeah. He's just being a pain.
You just want cuddles, don't you?
Sorry about this. He's being such a douche. On you.
No, he's not.
He's being a douche, man.
You're not, are you?
He is a little
he's
bit.
Like, I
love
you so much.
He is, but why now? Do you know what I mean? Like, all day he just sleeps on the sofa, doesn't budge, and then he just that dog is beautiful, says Jeep Boy. Thank you.
Oh,
he's beautiful. He's lovely,
gorgeous.
but
he's
he's a pain as well. He's a pain. He's
stubborn.
Why now of all times?
I know. He just decided.
Can't you just sit on one of us?
I know, but that's the thing. He's actually sitting across both of us.
Okay.
Is that it? Are we decided?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Right, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
Right.
wait for the dog. Stop licking me out. Come on. Bex has the worst answers.
I did, but it's alright. It's all over there now. So
yeah,
it's good.
To be honest, he's been pretty good recently. We've got him back on the food. If he lets one rip, you won't be saying he's nice any longer. Watch. Just fling him over the back.
But it's his little face. You see his little face.
Yeah.
See, he's obviously a bit shy. That it turns away from you guys.
Dave says must be dinner in the beer.
Is that what it is?
No, it's not.
Yeah?
It's not.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
It's not. It's not.
Anyway, so what were we talking about?
Oh god, the dog's kind of lost.
He's distracted us way too much now.
I did actually have a couple of little items to share. I remember this. I want to share with you guys a sale that I thought I was going to sell for like £100.
Oh, is this the one we talked about?
Oh,
this is so awesome.
Alf, don't bite my hand. Don't. Yeah,
Ryan
he can
says
smell the
the
kebab on the chin. Oh gosh! All right. A while back, I want that dog. He looks so cute. Oh, thank you, Jeep Boy. I really appreciate it. Millionaire Military says, "I'm off. See you all. I'm off to drive a tank now." Okay, Millionaire Military.
Thank you
for the super chats. Very kind of you.
Yes.
Alf is fascinated by Zaheer, says Major. Yeah, he hangs with me all day.
I mean,
he's my little bud.
Yeah, he does hang with you all day, doesn't
he? We sit together along.
Yeah. And he follows you around. He follows everywhere.
He does.
Everywhere, don't you?
Okay.
Right, so we're going to share this sale.
This,
some of you may recognise this.
From a while back. I had a Sony Betamax manual.
Yes.
And it was...
and it was ridiculously priced.
I had a Sony Betamax service manual.
Yes.
And I thought it had a really cool front cover.
Yes.
So I priced it at £100. And...
I'm not gonna laugh because some books can sell for like
Yeah,
loads of
exactly.
money, so
But
you know.
but the chat did okay, there you go. Citadel Games Workshop. The chat did think I was overpriced. You thought I was overpriced.
I thought it
I
was
stuck with it for a
overpriced.
while, but then I did kind of realise.
I remember you got a buzz because like a different one had sold for like quite a high price, and you were like, "See, it will sell, it will sell," and I was like, "Yeah, okay."
DPG says,
right,
"I remember the manual."
We'll go with that.
Yeah, and I want to share it with you guys because we have now sold it. Alf, don't bite me. Don't bite. Bad dog. He's not really biting, if I'm honest. But...
No, he like mouse, doesn't he?
Okay, let me just get the screen ready. Yeah, there you go.
Are we all
so
set up?
this is quite cool because this will actually show you guys the Webinterpret, what Webinterpret does. Now, this is the fundamental Betamax repair manual. Now, we've had this listed, as you know, for quite a while, and it was listed for a long time at £100. I did realise that maybe I was
a little bit overpriced.
A little bit overpriced, and it's finally
you
sold
were like,
today.
Look, it's all in colour. It's not like black and white.
Oh, I remember the manual. I remember the QVC impression you done for this. You just sold the book against J. Dennis. Bex did tell you you're stupid at the time. I remember. I thought that was harsh. though. Z was buzzing about it. No space taken up. Look, it's amazing. Well, I still think it's a cool item, but as you can see, it sold for a lot less.
Yeah.
But this is interesting. It sold for a lot less, but maybe I reduced the price. And it was down to 40 quid. Mm-hmm. It still hadn't sold though. Mm-hmm. This very evening, it got translated using Webinterpret. Webinterpret, as you can see, translated it. Now, by the way, just so you guys know, I'm not actually like affiliated with them, or I'm not shilling them, or like they're.
No.
This is just facts.
We've
right?
got like a free trial.
Yeah,
and
that's it. That anyone can get. Anyone can get that free trial. We're going to be paying like, and that's it. If we decide to go for it.
If we decide to go ahead with it, and we'll let you guys know if we do that.
Yeah.
But at the moment, we're in the mind of going, yes, we definitely want it to continue.
Well, this literally only got transferred this
Mm-hmm.
this evening, and as you can see, they've translated it to Sony Fundamental Betamax Reparature Service Manuel Gerdrukt in Belgian Sultan. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know what language that's in, but anyway, it's gone. It's a service handbook in Sprech English. See, they changed the item specifics as well. Look, they changed the item specifics and everything, and they translate your bitte sehen Sie die Fotos für weitere Details. I don't know if that's what it says, but that's my that says please see photos for further details, because that's what I write in pretty much everything. But anyway, it sold like immediately this evening as soon as it was listed on.
Peter's off.
Okay, Peter. Thanks for popping in. So it sold for €40, approximately £36, and now I'm thinking it could have gone for more.
Maybe
it could have gone for the full hundo.
You go up in the chat.
Yeah. Tickets go for £100, or so says Pete's Retro.
Retro Collectibles.
I sold the paperback for 70. Wow.
So I know some books are.
Everybody thought shell suits were a cool item at one time. And Marideth says, to me that just looks like trash. Wow, I need a rethink. I think that Sony book will be interesting for collectors, says Dave. That's what I thought. So. I thought it would be brilliant.
But I do still think it was a bit overpriced.
Yeah, but it sold. The manual is in English. It is German, but it looks a bit wrong translation, says Lord Ahab. See? It says in that listing doesn't post to United Kingdom.
Yeah. It's because
that's the German.
That's because it's
translation.
Like yeah.
When you use Webinterpret, one thing you will notice is on your listings page, you'll see like unless you filter it to each site, if you just have it for all sites, which is what the default view is, you will end up seeing 5 listings per item. Because you'll have your English UK.co.uk listing, and then potentially at least 4 more. And it could be as many as 10 if you sign up to their full service when they send them to like eBay India and eBay Australia and everything. But yeah, it sold straight away. So I just wanted to share, like, I didn't get 100 for it, got 40 euros, about 36 quid, plus there's shipping on top of that as well. So I'm actually pretty pleased with that sale. Even though it wasn't 100 quid, it was 36 quid.
So you should still be happy with it.
Yeah. But
I think you'll probably reach him with 100 anyway.
I think,
I'll be honest.
You never know.
I think you probably could have got
maybe
a bit more
if it had listed on ebay.com, it maybe could have gone. You never know, to the world. It is German. Allo version, says Gmandry. Yeah, that's the thing. I think people will appreciate that it isn't a perfect translation, but already today we had a message from someone from Germany, from another listing that got translated this evening as well, and they they appreciated that it wasn't a native German listing, as it were, and they spoke to me and they messaged me in English to ask if what I was selling was in working order, blah blah. But the point is, they've now seen my item when they potentially wouldn't have done before if they only shop on their local eBay site. How are you going to spend your euros, says Dave? Well, I'm going to have to transfer them to pounds, or I can just keep them in euros. So we'll see what happens. Lord Ahab says, but if you pay for international site visibility, do your sales increase the same percentage-wise? If you pay for international site visibility, do your sales increase the same percent? I think sales have increased massively. I'm not 100% sure I understand your question, Lord Ahab, but for the cost is a fraction of the amount of profit you'll make. In our very limited 10-day experience of Webinterpret.
I mean, we'll give you more of an update once we've done it for a bit longer. I think
but also, Webinterpret but Webinterpret, even after the trial period, from what I gather, is free if you just stick to the 4 European countries.
Yeah, but are you sure about that?
Yeah,
because you don't want to say that.
No, it's on their website. It's on their website. So I do actually think that if you just stick to the basic package, the basic free package, it is just a case of that. Jay Dennis says, when translating with Babelfish, I always add sorry for my schoolboy German, French, etc. They nearly always respond in English. Yeah, exactly. I mean, most Europeans speak very good English. The background table looks like recycling explanation from the 90s in Poland. Okay. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Polishek, but okay. Just wondering, is it better to use Webinterpret or international site visibility? Asked Lord Ahab. It depends on what you want, Lord Ahab. I think with the international site visibility, you have to pay 30 pence for your listing. And they only seem to offer you to list it on ebay.com and eBay Canada. They don't actually show the listing on the German eBay site or the French or the Spanish, the Italian. So it depends on what you want. Like I said, Webinterpret, from what I gather, is actually free for the 4 sites. So white piece of paper, table illustrations as publisher. Okay. Can you increase the pay on your listings? Go on Euro listings. I've heard Ad says that he does that on Amazon. Oh, the price on your listings. Yeah. Yes, you can add a percentage to your listings that have been translated. So if you want to charge more, so at the moment I'm just doing a flat, conversion. So I could. Yeah.
White piece of paper.
Oh, okay, right. Yes, and both eBay US and Canada speak English, as it says Jay Dennis. Yes, that's right. But like with the what was I saying? The price, you can set it to raise the price by 5%, 10%, whatever you want. So all your listings you list on like normal on eBay UK, and then you can tell it to add 10% to everything that you allow to be translated. So you can do that, like just like on Amazon, Jason. Yes, you can. So it is an option.
Do you want to just explain the table?
The table. yeah, it's a Tony Robbins thing. It's about potential action, and it's just
belief
yeah,
result.
yeah, like how it's a vicious circle that if you don't believe in yourself, then you won't put in as much action, then you won't get the result, which then reinforces your belief that you couldn't do it in the first place, which then again goes back to your potential, where you'll start thinking you don't have the potential, which again will mean that you won't put in your full amount of action, and each time you go around you're getting weaker
on a positive note. And you know
that's
it works
about.
the other way around as well.
Advantage of translation is most buyers in that country search using local language rather than English, says Jay Dennis. Yeah, I mean, I honestly feel it's worthwhile so far. And Jason, you're right, it would cover what I lose in converting back from pounds to euros and all that, definitely. Question, can we get a whiteboard behind you with motivation, graph, ideas and goals on? Please, thank you. I see lots of room. Yes, maybe. Yeah. Fair play. Simple diagrams stick solidly in the mind. Nice, I like it. Tony Robbins is a great seller of himself. He is. Tony Robbins is an amazing person. For all the mockery that he has, with people mocking him, the guy now has his own private island. So, he knows what he's doing. So, respect to him. It's a gorgeous island as well. But yes, things like that. I just like having things like that up around just to remind me
They're simple,
to think. Well, just to remind me to think like that. Yeah, because if you're doing the same thing every day you wake up and it's just not ideal. I just checked ebay.de and all my listings are auto translated into German by eBay anyways. Well, Lord Ahab, it may well be the case, but what Webinterpret are doing is they're listing directly on the site. You're just viewing your listing translated through your browser. Are you sure that's not just Chrome translating? But even if they have translated it, because a lot of browsers now translate on the fly, but even if they have, you're still going to appear as an international seller, and some buyers won't be in from that. So anyway, The Truth says, I'm here watching you live while I watch another channel live while I'm currently broadcasting live, commenting on how Z overworks Beck, says The Truth. Well, The Truth, you seem like you've got your hands full there.
You definitely.
But I'm glad
got a lot going on there.
But I'm glad you took the time out just to comment on how I overwork Beck.
Thank you.
I was studying him from the early 80s. He was tall, skinny, and handsome like myself. Jay Dennis says, works with some products where the title is such as RC, so a drive gear is called different, but not such as a camera where the model is the same over Europe. And yeah. That's true. Ryan says, I have a private island, but it's in a puddle outside my house. Very funny, Ryan.
I don't know what to say.
Nothing, probably. Hey, Tom.
Oh, Tom.
Tom has popped into the chat.
We should have mentioned this earlier, actually. It is actually higher up on our list.
Very kind of Tom to send me some friend mail. I got some servos.
Yeah.
So I've got some servos.
He saved the best till last because he's most excited about this bit.
This is what I'm really happy about back during the show.
Yeah. So this is dance the S Club way.
Because Tom knows I'm obviously on my health kick as well. I'm sure it'll come in handy.
So this is what Zaheer's going to be doing to lose some more weight.
Not going to happen.
But yeah, so thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
And I think he's got some of his favourite songs on here as well. Seen it?
Yeah.
What? Have you read the back?
Yeah. Well, Alive. Don't stop moving. Reach. And Who Do You Think You Are?
Yeah.
I don't remember Who Do You Think You Are.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. So
helping with the weight loss system. No, there's no dances day. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to kill that there.
Man.
No dances are going to happen.
It's so happy. No, but they really break it down.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care.
Step by step, how to recreate S Club's dance moves.
I'll do it if you do it.
Man.
Okay. No, I'm not doing it. Question: can we get an S Club set? No, you can't. No, there's not going to be a live stream of me dancing. Got to go enjoy S Club. No worries. It is now an hour, guys. So thank you everybody for popping in. We really do appreciate you guys hanging around with us while we chat. Do it for charity. Oh, see, that's
now Tom, you've done it.
We're not gonna talk about it any further before Tom gets us in trouble.
Yeah.
And we say something that we regret.
We're gonna.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't keep going.
But thank you for.
Oh, he's falling.
I was falling.
Hang on. You want to get down nicely.
But yeah, thank you for joining us, guys. Really hope you enjoyed the chat. If you did, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. Damn, I've just arrived, says Julian. Sorry, Julian. We've been on for an hour, so that is us now. We're going to be off doing walks and things. Well, I'm going to walk off anyway. Yeah.
Thank you, Polish.
Ryan says there's 24 hours a day, so stream 21 of it. Great chat and congrats on the sales. Thanks, Karen. Appreciate it. What did Polashek say? I really like this invitation. Oh, thank you.
And so thank you,
Polashek. Really appreciate your comment. Really appreciate the comment. So yeah, we probably will be back on Sunday to do a hangout. You know, do some more listings. You know? Or maybe Saturday. I don't know. We've got no set days for it. But anyway, see you guys later.
Bye bye.
I saw Death by Glamour do that, so I was like, it's just doing that.
Okay.
And I was like, what? Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. See you later.
See you later.